happening over the last couple of days, um, and just just basically give my opinion on those things. And this probably will offend people, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Um, the first thing is the whole Nike Colin Kaepernick campaign. Um, a lot of people are offended at this campaign. I've heard stories of a guy actually burning down his house in attempts to burn his Nikes up. You see Twitter feeds with guys like outraged at the whole situation, and you also see even Donald Trump, who actually said Nike did something very stupid in doing this. Um, but at the end of the day, Nike didn't do it to stop what's going on. Nike didn't do it to raise awareness of like police killings of innocent black people, or just the foolery that white terrorism presents itself out to be in different things. And we have examples of this, like the shooting with in the them playing Madden and stuff like that, and the white guy who shot up the place. That's just one example. But Nike did not do that to raise awareness of that, because Nike knew about it, has known about it for the longest. I mean, um, the fact of the matter is, ever since Nike has been um, established, they knew this was going on. Like they knew that this was happening. They knew that you know a black man is more likely to get killed by the police than any other kind of man. They knew all about this already. Um, but it's a simple fact that they were taking advantage of the moment, and the moment is, Kaepernick and what he's doing. Um, and the proof of this, the proof of this is in the fact that, like, over the last 24 hours, even with people, boycotting Nike, saying don't buy Nike and things like that, the sales on the Nike website have gone up by like 35%. And I think like their stock went up like 40% as well. So again, it's a marketing strategy. It has nothing to do with, raising injustice about the whole thing. It's kind of like a similar thing with the Civil War. The Civil War was never meant to like abolish slavery. That was never the purpose. That was just one of the extras that came with it. This Nike campaign is basically like, okay, we're gonna market off him, make money off of him, and the quote unquote social awareness message will be just come with that. That's how Nike is thinking about the whole thing. Um, and back to Kaepernick and whatnot. Um, in his way of like peaceful protests and stuff like that, and things like that, kneeling for the flag and things like that. Um, that for me is far more better than what the history of like white Americans have done. You know, um, some a lot of these veterans and stuff like that are getting mad. They're getting butthurt that he did that. But let's just look at a history of America. We can't really talk about all of the history of America, but let's just call it spade a spades. And a lot of the times when United States enters into military conflict, it isn't to protect America. Most of the countries Well, the only country that attacked America um, directly was Japan with the Pearl Harbor thing. But every time that America goes into a conflict, it's not to make the world safer. For example, when America went to Vietnam, it was to stop the spread of quote unquote communism. That's what the gist of it was. But the real reality was it was a war for heroin. In fact, a lot of the bodies brought back from war were filled with heroin, you know, dead troops were filled with heroin. And so as soon as that heroin came, that thing hit the street. And guess what neighborhood it hit? You guessed it. Even more recently, the war in Afghanistan had very little to do with terrorism. In fact, the first thing that the troops did was they went to the opium fields. Like that was the very first thing that they did once they got there. The war in Iraq, you know, George Bush actually owns like an oil company or something like that. So, you know, just follow the money. You know, the United States, you know, and of course, I'm going to get backlash. But as an African immigrant, I have no respect for the United States military. I have no respect for the flag, you know, because I know what was done for that flag to be the way it is. You know, I know what was done. I know the history of this country, you know. And so the fact that the fact that, you know, veterans are mad at Kaepernick and stuff like that, it just shows that they're indoctrinated believing that they were actually fighting for a good cause when they never fought for a good cause. Even in Libya, Libya had the highest standard of living in Africa. But guess what? NATO went there, and guess what happened? Libya is a hellhole now. You know what it really is, that these things are just like to make you think. You know, the media is the most one of the most powerful things in the world because it can make you think that a person who is actually good, a person who is actually going about their business, a person who maybe has a different idea on how they want to run their country is the boogeyman, that he's going to threaten you, that he's going to threaten the way you live and stuff like that, which is not the case at all, you know? And so I'll give another example of like why this Nike thing is just like it's not designed to make a lot of like minorities better. That wasn't the purpose, you know. Like so for people who think that's the purpose, it's not the purpose. The day I think the day that Nike ad came out, the night in Dallas, Texas, the night in Dallas, Texas, a 26-year-old Caribbean immigrant was shot dead in cold blood by an off duty police officer who said that she came into the wrong apartment. This makes no sense to me because, first of all, the man was single. And so, mind you, he a bachelor. So a bachelor pad is going to look quite different from the pad of a white female police officer, right? You should know that that is not your place. And then what makes me scratch my head the most is what did that guy do to make you shoot him? Like, I mean, from what we hear about the guy, he was in the choir. He was a recent graduate of school, graduated in accounting. He his parents were well educated, like in their country of St. Lucia. He came from like a well-to-do educated family. So what reason would he have to cause something to make you shoot him? That's what I wonder. Like, that makes no sense. And let's just say that even he did have a threat. Let's just say he was a threat. You have pepper spray. You have a taser. A pepper spray will slow a guy down real quick. I mean, that thing burning your eyes, that thing is going to slow you down. So why do you have to shoot him dead? And then if you must shoot him, if she had to shoot him, why not just shoot him in the leg? Just slow him down. Shoot him in the leg. Shoot him in the thigh. Just slow him down. That would have slowed him down. you know. So again, it just goes to show that there won't be any change. Nike is not going to be the change. All that's going to go up is sales. That's it. Another thing that needs to be said, Nike is powerful enough, right, to actually go to the UN and go and say that these problems are going on in our country, that there are indeed human rights violations going on. Why wouldn't they? Because it's simple. They don't care. They care about money. That's it. And more proof that it's just about money is Nike has been outsourcing a lot of its jobs to overseas people for way cheaper labor costs. It's all about money. That's it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I like Nike. But for me, I get most of my Nikes free. Due to sport. But yeah, that's what that's basically what it is. Like, it wasn't designed to really make any change or anything like that. Even their new Nike ad, it was just a business move. It was just capitalizing off the moment. I mean, you see what's going on in the country with Donald Trump and stuff like that, and just things he's doing with immigration and all this kind of stuff. It was just capitalizing off the moment. That is it. Keyword, capitalizing. Nike is like a capitalist thing. So that's basically what it is. And all these white people burning their Nikes, they're pretty dumb, because if I was white and I wanted to boycott Nike or something, or I was pissed that they made this move, there's such thing as eBay. I would have made a lot of money on eBay if it came to Nike. I would have made a lot of money. In fact, my Nike collection, some people, I have nicknames for some of my shoes. Like, sometimes I pull out with the "what's those," because those Nikes have not been, like, some of the Nikes I wear, you haven't seen them before. You can only find them in like boutiques and stuff like that. So yeah, like, in that's not to brag or anything, but it's cool to be different. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to be. But other than that, leave your thoughts, leave your comments. I just wanted to talk about that. Just break it down for a little while. And, I mean, like, my opinion, the only time that change will come is when, like, when people are willing to, like, try to turn the system, like, upside down. Like, people are willing to, like, go at the head, basically. Like, people are willing to, like, do things like go to UN, do all kinds of things like that, like, willing to actually do it. It won't happen through protesting. It won't happen through marching. It won't happen through anything. As a matter of fact, that woman who killed the police officer who killed the guy yesterday, I think she's not even arrested right now. I think she's still walking the streets. She's on administrative leave. although she is a murderer, but you know, she's still free. I mean, Scarface said it best himself in this song. I forgot the name of the song. Yeah, I forgot the name of the song, but he said how you can X us out and chalk, go to court and get the fuck off. And that's basically what happens. So no matter how many times Kaepernick kneels, no matter how many things that Nike pretends to care about, it's not going to change. It's not going to change at all. And I'm not trying to sound like a pessimist or anything. I'm just telling you how it is. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. I'm off to the next one. Njaram.